Well, hello, welcome again to our reading of the Septuagint, and we're reading the story of Samson in the book of Judges, and I was up to chapter 15, verse 9. Kai an ebesen hoi alopholoi kai paren ebelon in Judah. And the Philistines went up, and this is from Parembalo. It's probably a Macedonian term, but it's quite common in the Septuagint. It means to encamp, to set up camp of an army. They set up camp in Judah. Kai ex erif their son in Lewi. This is from ek ripto, literally to hurl out. Probably in the sense, and it's passive here, they were rolled out, so probably something like they spread themselves out in Levi, in Levi. Kai apen ane Judah esti anabeti ef hemas. Kai apen hoi alopholoi desai ton Samson anebe men kai poies auto hon tropon epoiesen heimin. And a man of Judah said, "For what reason have you come up against us?" And the Philistines said, Desai, so we have come up to bind Samson. That's to arrest Samson, to bind him, and to do to him in the same manner in which he did to us. So to do to him what he did to us. Kai anebesan triskilioandres apo Juda es trumalian petras etam kai epento Samson uk oidas hoti kuriusin hoi alopholoi hemon. Kai tit tuto epoiesas hemin. And 3,000 men went down from Judah. Now here's this word we had before, it's meaning slightly obscure. It's into the hole of, probably, so into the cave of Etam. And they said to Samson, "Do you not know that the Philistines have mastery over us? And why have you done this thing to us? Kai epen autoi Samson hon tropon epoiesan moi hutos epoiesa autois." So thus I have done to them in the manner in which they did to me. So I've done to them what they did to me. Kai apen auto desai se katabemen tu dunai se en kairi alofulon. Kai apen auto Samson omosati moi me poti sun atesati en emoi humes. And they said to him, we have come down, and then 2 plus the infinitive, so as to give you, we have come down, to bind you, so as to hand you over into the hand of the Philistines. So we get the infinitive here. So we have come down. It's for the purpose of tying you up, so as to hand you over into the hand of the Philistines. And Samson said to them, "Swear to me that you will never sun antacity." Well, this is a sun antao. It means to meet with, but it has more of the sense of attack. The Hebrew is literally, "You will not fall on me yourselves." But the Greek is more of the sense of, "You will not come to a meeting with me yourselves." So perhaps fall upon me, perhaps kill me. may be the intention here. So swear that you will not fall upon me or attack me yourselves. And kai apon auto legontes uki, hoti al he desmo diesumen se, kai paradosumen se en kairiauton, kai thanato u thanatosomen se. And they said to him, they spoke to him, saying, no, but we will bind you. So the al-a here is something like rather. So it's but or, but I think it's more in the sense of, because it does, you normally get two of these, so I think it's rather is the sense of it here, because we will rather bind you with a bond, with a desmos, with a rope or something, and we will hand you over into their hand, and we will not put you to death by death. So it's emphatic, and we certainly shall not put you to death. Kai edesen auton endosi kalodios, kai nois, kai an anenkan auton, apotes petras akanes. And they bound him with two. Now this is a kaloidion. This is it's a classical word. It's only here in the Septuagint, and later in the next verse. It's from kalodion. It's a neuter noun, I think. So with two cords, they're small cords. They're new, with two fresh or new cords, and they will carry him from this rock. So we get really it should be out. Sorry, they bound him. I'm sorry, they carried him. It's not future. Sorry, they bound him with two new cords, and they brought him up. Sorry, from that rock. Kai elthon hios siagonos. And they went as far as this place, Siagon. The Hebrew here has Lewi, as we saw back in verse 9, up the top, right up the top here. It's got the same word as there, but here he's called it Siagon. The name, which is simply a word meaning the thigh bone, it's simply, it's the name that Samson's about to give to the place. But we'll just put a capital sigma here, a capital S, and say they brought him as far as Siagon. Kai hoi alopholoi e lalaxan kai edramen es sun antesan autu. And the Philistines, well, this is an old verb. It's an onomatopoetic verb. It's simply to call out alalalalalalai, which is a war cry. So they made the war cry, and they ran, aorist from treco. Again, we get this funny expression here, literally for a meeting with him, but it's not really a meeting. It's so as to attack him, to fall upon him. Kai helato ebauton pneuma kuriu. Now this is a phrase we had before. It's the spirit of Yahweh literally leapt upon him. From halamai is the verb here, with two lambdas. So the Spirit of the Lord leapt upon him. Kai egenethe ta kalodia ta epi brachios sin autu hose stipuon ho ex ekauthe en puri. So just to do that bit, and this is the plural of that noun I mentioned before, the kalodion. This is the neuter plural. So the cords, the ones around his arms, they were, or they became, like stiptuon. This is a very rare and post-classical word meaning flax. So they became like flax, which execauthe, something like is burned, is completely burned for the X, with fire. In other words, it falls to pieces when it gets hot. Kai et take sen desmoi autu apikeron autu, kai huren siagone onu, ek erimenain, kai exetanen tain kera, and then the next page is autu. So, now this is a funny verb here. This is, I think this is from tako. It normally has an eta here. And this form I don't think I've found anywhere else except in Doric dialect. But it's his bonds were melted. Tako is a verb, an old classical verb meaning a melt, but it's got a long eta here. This particular form I've not seen before, but it must be from that root. So his bonds melted literally from his hands, and he found a siagone. Now this is from siagona. This is siagone. It's a third declension noun meaning a jawbone, and that becomes the name of the place. Anyway, here it's a small sigma, so he found a jawbone of an ass. Ek rerimenain, and this simply means tossed aside. Again, it's a very strange form with having that row in there as a reduplication. You don't normally have that. This is a perfect passive participle from ek ripto, having been hurled out, so tossed aside. The Hebrew has a totally different word. It has the word for new, so fresh. Here we get this very funny form of the verb from ek ripto. So hurled aside, and he stretched out ten kera autu, his hand, and kai eleben autain, and he took it, kai epatek sen en aute kilius andras, and he smote with it 1,000 men. Kai apen Samson en siagoni onu, ex alephone ex elepsa autus, hoti ente siagoni to onu epataxa kilius andras. So he did that, and Samson said, and then we have this little couplet here. Now the verb here is ex alepho. The root meaning of this is to plaster over originally. It then has the meaning to destroy or to remove, to a bit like our unpleasant word to take out. The Hebrew is quite different. The Hebrew here puns on the similarity of words for heap and donkey, and reads something in English like, with the jawbone of an ass I have made a heap, and with it I have made 2 heaps. The New English, the NIV renders it, with a donkey's jawbone I have made donkeys of them. With a donkey's jawbone I have killed 1,000 men. The Greek here reads, I have destroying them, I have destroyed them with the jawbone of an ass, because with the jawbone of an ass I have struck down, patasso, to strike 1,000 men. Kai ergeneto hos epausato lalon, kai eripsen ten siagona ectes kairos autu, kai ekalesen ton topon ekenon an irises siagonos. And it came to pass when he ceased, this is the middle from Pauo, when he ceased speaking, then we get the usual kai, meaning then, eripsen from ripto, he hurled the jawbone from his hand, and he called that place the Aniresus Siagone, literally the taking up of a jawbone. That's what he's named the place. But of course, he's also called it just takes the name Seagone. Kai Edipsasen Spodra, and he was exceedingly thirsty from Dipsao. Kai Eklausa pros Kurion, Kai Apen su Eudocasus en Caridulu su, ten soterian ten megalane tuten. Kai nun apothunumai to dipse, kai em pesumai en keriton aperitmeton. So he's excessively thirsty, and he cried out to Yahweh, and he said, this word normally eudocio is to consent or to approve. It's to think well of. You have thought well of this great salvation with the hand of your servant. The Hebrew here just simply has you have given. You have given great salvation by the hand of your servant. Here it's a slightly different word, meaning you have approved or you have consented to the great salvation, to this great salvation by the hand of your servant. And now I am dying, I will die, I should say, apothenumai, future. I will die by thirst. Kai em pesumai, it's from em pipto. I will fall into the hands of the uncircumcised, the peritmeton. Kai erex en hothios ton lacon, ton en to siagoni, kai exelthen ex autu hudor, kai epien, kai epestrepsen top pneuma autu, kai edzasen. And God, and I didn't look up to see whether this was Elohim, it probably is here Elohim. So God, this is from regnumi, to break or to smash open. He broke the lacon. Now that's word used in Genesis for the water cistern, cognate with our word lake and so on. It's probably just here a pit or hollow place. So God smashed open the pit, the one. Now this should probably have a capital sigma here, the one in Seagone. It is the jawbone, but it's not to be translated that way. It's the name of the place here. So God broke open the water pit, the one in Seagone, and water came out from it. Kai epien, and he drank. This is the aorist from Pino. Kai epistrepsen top pneuma autu, and his spirit returned from epistrepho. Kai etzasen, and he lived. Diatuto ekleitheta onoma autes pege tu epikalumenu. He estin en siagoni, heos tes hemeros tautes. On account of this, the name of this, understand, place was called the Pege tu epikalumenu. The Pege is a stream, the stream of the one who called out, which is in Seagone, up until this day. Kai ekrinen ton Israel en hemeros alaphulon ikosi ete, and he ruled Israel in the days of the Philistines for 20 years. And that is the end of chapter 15.